for kicks. And go. Oh, is my on? Right, and go.
Our next stop is Our next stop is the Sherwin Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
Our final stop, and okay. I can hear. Go back.
Our final stop is the Sherwin Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
Set and go.
Our final stop is the Sherwin Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
Now we are at
the Sherwin Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
Okay.
There are 4 stained glass windows. They came to us from a synagogue in Houston, Texas, and after urban renewal, they were auctioned off, and one of our donors purchased them with the intent to put them somewhere. And when we opened here in this site in 2003, they went up in our lobby, and they all depict different stories. Other ones, it's painted glass. And interesting note.
These stained glass windows were from Houston, Texas. And one interesting thing I learned is that whenever they show someone with their eyes closed on stained glass, that means they're blind.
And the photographs are of just different. I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I've never heard that in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't think
West Coast, yes.
Wait, so this is all Jewish art, right? Or is it?
A human. Right. This gallery.
Okay, yeah. This is the Humans of Israel gallery. So they're all, wait, are they Jewish?
It's just people.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. I don't know how to summarize it. There's a lot of... Oh, this is artwork, right? Look what we're on first place. It's like a house. Is there a secret annex there? No.
Maybe that is a secret annex. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that too modern?
Wait, no, but the windows are covered, right? So maybe it was the secret annex.
Of the Yom HaShoah art contest.
Oh, watch out, you're in the refresh.
Oh, wow, the giraffe.
Oh, wow.
With a purple tongue.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, hold on. Edison. Have you heard of that high school? Cash? Edison Preparatory. Is that?
Heard of it.
He goes to school here, so.
Yeah.
Don't back up anymore.
1, 2, 3, cheese.
His facial expression.
Yeah, it's just like.
Uh-oh.
I could do
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My wire caught Javi's.
Where we celebrate our Torahs. So there's 2 types of Torahs. There's the Ashkenazi Torah, which is a soft cover, and then there's the Sephardic Torah, that's the hard cover, because they had to travel a lot with for the Sephardic. That's more the Middle Eastern Jewish person from early on in civilization, and then you have the soft, which is the European Jew, had the soft covers. Same information on the inside, just the way they covered them, and they adorned them with very, fabulous items. And so the what you know as the church, like the Church of England today, where they have the crowns and they have all that. Well, it came from the Jewish people adorned their Torahs with the crowns, and that was well before they were
England.
adapted to current.
Go.
This is the Torah, and when they were making it, they wouldn't use their hands because then if they smeared the paper, they'd have to redo the whole thing. So the yod is the tool that they used.
To touch the paper.
Oh yeah, the yod is the tool that they used to touch the paper.
A model synagogue. All these pieces came to us from the Muskogee Synagogue, Temple Beth Abba.
Say something.
All right, look here. 1, 2, 3.
All different arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, geez, so please.
The menorah over there has 7 candles that represent the 7 days of creation.
The Jewish life cycle. So we have birth, becoming an adult, the marriage, and death. And then over here we have, we celebrate Shabbat, which is our holy day, giving back to community, education, because at the end of the day, education is one of our basic fundamentals that we teach our children, education and giving back. And so every child learns as they're growing up to give back. So they're given one of these tzedakah boxes, and they put money in it, and they can decide every week, month, year where they want that money to go and give back to the community.
This is the chapah. This is the chapah, and it's where Jewish people will get married. It symbolizes the house of God. This thing. Cool design.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
This section is on the outfits from different countries. This is Morocco. We were almost going to go this summer, but then we found out it's too hot. Too bad. Okay, yeah. This section is on the outfits from Jewish people in different countries, and this one's Morocco. We were almost going to go this summer, and then maybe we could have seen it, but then we found out it's too hot. The Central Asia one is pretty colorful, stripy. Oh wow, it's golden.
These are dresses, right? Yeah.
Different Jewish holidays here, and we have Hanukkah over here. And then over here it's all the Jewish life at home. So you have the rituals of protection, the daily prayer, Jewish home, and how you celebrate. Out the world. Let's see. I don't know where's the.
How do
Yes, press.
Where is the? It automatically turns off. Right.
Wow.
I don't see it. Anyway,
Thank you.
and it gives you the 360
What is
of us. So if
this?
you press this right here, if you go like, so let's do here, then you do this. It
Wow.
goes all the way, so you can see the ceiling,
Oh, sorry.
and then you can see all the.
That hurts my
And
eyes.
he took millions of pictures in order to get. So altogether, we have clothes, we have location. So
Oh,
altogether,
wow.
we have 579. He wasn't able to go. So
Let's go to Oklahoma.
California.
Actually, no, California. That's where we're from. Let's go. There.
Yeah, I
So
want to
one
see your
guy
house.
photographed all this?
him and his wife.
No, this is
yeah,
only
they went. I
synagogues.
mean, and so he wasn't sure exactly at first what he wanted to do. And then after taking all these pictures, he realized he can get the
Is there any place that
technology
you,
to kind of
like,
piece them all
recognize?
together, and so he can
Okay.
do these 360 type
So he
of.
took
Oh,
lots of pictures
Wilshire
to make- 'cause
Boulevard
these
Temple.
360
Have we seen-
cameras you can get now that
Now
kind of
they,
take
yeah,
them,
but he
but
started
back
this
then-
like, I want to say in the 80s or 90s, he
Oh,
started
wow.
taking
That's really
photographs.
impressive.
Do you want to
So-
do Oklahoma?
Is my preschool here? No,
Yeah, I'm
probably
curious to
not.
see
I
what
don't
through
know.
there are.
Oh wait, no. Hold on.
Oh, Tulsa.
Wait. What just happened? Let's North America, United States.
Oklahoma.
I feel like I might have.
Just like that, you go like that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
this is in LA. Wow.
hmm So this is a converted, is this the one that's a converted theater?
Oh, okay.
I think this is the
I can
converted,
see that.
yes. I think this is the converted theater. But some really cool, and so the touchscreen, like it's
Yeah,
like,
that's really cool.
You can stay there if you want.
And the items they to the Holocaust to.
This gallery is,
This is temporary.
okay. This exhibit is called Stories of Survival, and it's about items that people were able to take with them as they fled genocide.
They're all pieces that were made in a workshop in Israel, and they're all gold and silver, and they all, some of them have hidden, yeah.
This is really cool because they're items in disguise. Like that ship turns into a menorah, and if people went into their house, they wouldn't know these are Jewish items. So it helps in times where Jewish people were,
Persecuted?
yeah. It helps in times when Jewish people were persecuted. No, you can itch it. That's of Hanukkah because
Well, there's many spellings of Hanukkah. Oh, and this is Jewish rock. So these were painted by local Jewish.
this is the Jews rock exhibit, and it's this is the Jews rock exhibit, and it was painted by Jews that were into rock and roll. We went to the Bob Dylan Museum yesterday. Wait, he wasn't a Jew, right? No, he was.
Yes.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes. He is. Not one. So.
Wait, was he a cowboy singer? I forgot. He was a no. English class.
The abstract symbol is Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, and that's what many Jews go by. Is that we are here to help repair the world. So when our students walk in here,
That's the KKK, right?
so here this is our moments of hate. So we talk about the Tulsa Race Massacre, the 1921 Race Massacre. We talk about the SS, and we talk about hate in the world that doesn't need to have a uniform. That it's people who can be in plain sight and still be full of hate. They don't have to wear a uniform in order to do that. So we talk about those different moments. We talk about the Trail of Tears, the Charlottesville rally.
Oh, the SS uniform had a skull on it?
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
I don't know.
Dang.
Fisherman who greets you. But then we also have a whole bunch of items that you would have found in a typical European home before World War II. So these are all items, from dolls to chess pieces to the menorah to purses to perfume bottles to a colander. These are all different items that you would find in just any Jewish home in Germany, in Poland, in Europe.
We're now in the Holocaust exhibit, and these are symbols of hate, like the KKK uniform, the SS uniform that was used by the Nazis. And this shows that haters can be in any ordinary clothing.
These are all World War I veterans, and this is Hanukkah during World War I. Jews were proud Germans, and they celebrated being part of World War I. And then we talk about anti-Semitism here, and then we talk about how Hitler rose to power through democratic means, but then of course that changed. But we talk about how easily democracy can be manipulated into a dictatorship.
Liver.
Yeah, those people probably were all in danger of being killed.
They probably all were killed. That's why.
But they were, when he was voted in here, though, when he was voted in to this position, it was Democratic. When he was made chancellor is when everything changed. So the quote, where they burn books, they will also ultimately burn people. That was 1822, so that was 100 years before Hitler rose to power. They were talking about burning books. So it's just interesting how that, about how what was declared. How were you Jewish, and what did that look like? And they made laws to how much what you were allowed to.
These are the German federal election results through the years. So as you can see, in 1928, the Nazi Party was just 2%, and it quickly became 99%.
So here we put all the Nazi memorabilia. We kind of designed it to be below waistline, so so we didn't want to glorify all the Nazi memorabilia, so we put it in something that looks reminiscent of a coffin, and kind of look down. So
That's clever. That's clever to not glorify the Nazi memorabilia. It's like you're looking down at a coffin.
Our rendering of Kristallnacht. I don't know if you learned about Kristallnacht yet, but it's Night of Broken Glass. It's the night when the German soldiers and citizens of Germany destroyed the synagogues and the Jewish businesses. We're not going to tolerate having Jews in our country anymore. And that represents the broken stained glass windows of the synagogues that were destroyed. One of the destructions of the synagogue, it's a Czechoslovakian Torah. And so you guys are all, I don't know if you've learned about the Jim Crow laws yet in school, from the 1940s, 50s, but there were laws that only black people could sit on certain benches, white people could sit on benches.
You've heard of Rosa Parks, right?
In 2021, well, in Tulsa, the massacre happened at basically almost the same time, happening at the same time. So we kind of start with that.
The final solution.
So we talk about the ghettos in Europe so a lot of students that come through here, they were taken from their homes, put in the streets, and then barbed wire put up and said, get out. But the voyage of the St. Louis, they did get out, but there were no place for them to go. So ultimately, they had to make a big old U-turn because their quotas were up. They weren't allowing anybody else to come into America at the time. And so you're looking at all of Jewish life. And so now you're in a concentration camp, and you're looking at Jewish life through barbed wire. And so now you're looking at the Jewish life and what.
Is halt a German word?
I don't know if it's...
Now it's like we're in the concentration camp looking out to Jewish life. That was in the past.
This is a touchscreen though, so you can see where the rail... So these are all how they transport the people to go to the places that kept them segregated from everybody else, whether they were killed or they were put to work. This is all the railways where they went. We talk about the Jewish population, but we also talk about the Roma population, because not just Jews were murdered. So the Romas were murdered because when they were put on the spot about they had to worship Hitler before God, they said absolutely no. We pray to Jehovah before we pray to anything else, and that's why they were persecuted here. So at the end, when the Nazis knew the time was up, they were like, well, we're just gonna walk you until you die, because we know that they're coming after us. Allied soldiers came, they were liberated on these deaths. The Holocaust survivor, Eva Unchman, that you met downstairs, and she's on a lot of these videos, she was on a death march when she was liberated. In Poland, before the war, there was 3 million Jews in Poland. After, there was 45,000.
Oh.
Germany, there was 565,000, then there was only 37,000.
Wow.
In some instances it did go up.
Like Great Britain.
So Great Britain, because people were able to flee there. Same thing with Ireland. But what's my favorite story is out of Albania. So Hitler, he didn't persecute Muslims, and he never even wanted to go. He never went into Albania because he figured there's no Jews in Albania because the Muslims must not like the Jews, and they'll kill them themselves, right? No. But the Albanians, Muslims, have a code called BESA, B-E-S-A. And that code is to help the fellow human being when they are in danger. And so they hid Jews in their homes, and they lived amongst them all the way through the war, and they were never detected because Nazis never came to their homes and to search for Jews, because they just assumed. Celebrate all the children that weren't able to be children. So 1.5 million children were murdered during the Holocaust. And so these stones, these children represent the 1.5 million children. So we made an infinity mirror, and all these stones were decorated by local students to celebrate all these children's lives that were taken way too young. And so they represent the 1.5. We have kids that play here to show that this is what we wish they would have been doing. And then out in our Liberators Park, eventually we'll have 15 statues out there that will represent the 1.5 million children.
Yeah. These stones represent the 1.5 million children that should have lived longer but were murdered during the Holocaust. And it's an infinity mirror.
Of all Tulsa public school students who came through here, all 8th graders came through here, and they've been doing these stones. We started in 2000 stones, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with all these stones. We're making statues, but then we're going to end up with about 18,000 stones, and so continuing the project, what are we going to do with the stones that we have currently? We want to respect those stones. For this year, because we're trying to celebrate women artists, because we learned a year and a half ago that less than 5% of all art that's shown in museums are women. Isn't that crazy? But she was an amazing woman, very talented. She made all her, so that's like an exciting new piece.
And go.
And that is the Sherwin Miller Museum of Jewish Art.
My favorite part was seeing all the masks.
Everything there, and it was just the mask. Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah, I like the mask.
I think the highlight of that museum is the Holocaust exhibit, just because you can see stuff that the Nazis had and the Jewish people had during World War II. Bye. What else? And there was a lot of important history in that exhibit. But also the art was great. Like, just look at this. Okay.
Anything else? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to our next stop. See you in the next video. Bye.